There's no better way to get better at football than playing football. So if you want to,
Taylor's gonna finish it.
I've always been confident in my abilities. I think, I'm a guy that can go out there, and I always believe in myself that I'm going to get open and make the play if they throw me the ball.
The third. Ryan, end zone shot for Pierce. He caught it. Oh, what a...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We're here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. My name is Eric Smith, co-host of the Colts Cast. Alongside me, as always, I have co-host Jamal Lawrence here.
What up?
Look, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and ring that bell with the subscribe button right now. Look, don't forget to give us a like, comment below throughout the video with your thoughts. Best way to support us, and it's completely free. We're about to get right into it, guys and gals. Final mock draft for the Colts NFL 2023 draft. You ready for this, Jamal?
I'm ready, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is it. We're, because the next episode, we got the live stream coming up on Thursday. We're going to be posting on social media about that throughout the week. But that's our next episode. So, we got to give it to y'all straight. 7-round mock draft right now. We're going to start off from the top. First round pick, Jamal, what are we doing?
First round pick. This man needs no introduction. We talked about him countless times. I still just can't even believe that there was at one point in time where I just laughed and said he ain't built like that. Is Anthony Richardson, number 15 from Florida.
Hey,
this guy. I mean, I think we know, that's the ceiling is wide open for him. I think he possesses a lot of what we need, and he can bring a whole new level of excitement to this offense. I just feel like at this point, if you're Chris Ballard, if you're Shane Steichen, you know what the cards are, you know what time it is. You need to go ahead and make the decision to pick him up and let's get rolling with this because he's the future of the Indianapolis Colts.
I like it. And guys, we're kind of doing our own mock drafts for this. I know our last 3-round mock draft, it was between me and Jamal. We did it together, but this time it may be a little different. However, I like that, Jamal. I like Anthony Richardson because I have him too. But I'm about to start off with a trade. We're trading up to number 3 with the Cardinals because we have to get our guy. We have to get him. I'm not listening to the smoke for CJ Stroud or Will Levis right now. I don't know what the Texans are going to do, but right now I'm assuming Young and Stroud are off the board. Let's send some capital up. Send our 2023 3rd-round pick and our 5th-round pick, one of our 5th-round picks, the 162nd. Let's move up one spot. Everyone's happy. The Cardinals still get their defensive player. We make sure we get our guy, which I believe is Anthony Richardson. I still think he's the guy until further notice. Definition of high risk, high reward here. Lead arm strength, big frame, explosive running ability. He's got all that. Playbook opens up. They're going to have to drop a safety down for him just because, he built different on the ground. I think he's the ideal fit for Shane Steichen. Give me that guy with the limited upside, most athletic QB in NFL history. You have to take a shot on him, right?
Sure do. I really do think at this point you have to. I mean, the intangibles are there, so why not go ahead and pull the trigger on him and let's make it happen.
Where are we at in the 2nd round then?
2nd round.
35th overall.
35th. Yeah, this is a name. So you guys know that I do love the offensive line. I think that is super important that we get the offensive line back on track, especially drafting a young quarterback. And this is a name we mentioned on the last episode when James Boyd was here. So it goes by the name of O'Cyrus Torrence, offensive guard from Florida. You guys know the guard spot is the spot we're lacking the most. We picked up Ryman, and I have said throughout this entire offseason, I'm completely fine with getting a tackle and maybe even looking to bump Ryman down to let him learn that spot. But with that being said, if we have an opportunity to get a solid guard in the 2nd round, why not go ahead and get that guard to keep everything cohesive across the entire offensive line? Where we know that Ryan Kelly has said he wants to come back and do a little better this year. We know Quentin Nelson's going to do better. We know Ryman should do better as well as Braden Smith. And not to mention, O'Cyrus is a teammate or former teammate of Anthony Richardson, so they do have that connection there. This dude is a beast, massive guy. I think he's 6'4", like 330 pounds, huge dude. the strength, I think he fits right into the offense of what we need. And against having someone like Braden Smith next to you on the right side, it just makes it a great opportunity for you to thrive because we know how consistent Braden Smith has been for us. And then you have Quentin Nelson as your back pocket, as your mentor. I think it's a match made in heaven. If we could get him in that second round, we can kind of complete that offensive front right there and move forward in the future.
Florida, man. Love them Florida guys. Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways the Colts can fill huge needs on the roster here. I think Osiris Torrance would be a nice add. I'm going to go with the other side of the ball, though. I'm gonna stick to it. Keely Ringo. This second round pick for everybody, all Colts fans. This is basically a late first round pick. I mean, you're picking at 35th, but I'm tapping into that deep cornerback class. I'm shooting for a lockdown corner. 6'2", 207 pounds, get a big freak athlete. He's going to be a strong corner on the outside, press coverage, boom, he's got that. He's going to be able to aid in run support. I just think Keely Ringo is a match made in heaven for Gus Bradley's scheme as a zone corner, but we'll see. There's a lot of good corners, but Ringo, he has that high upside. I think he has that physical profile that Chris Ballard's looking for.
I like that. I like that a lot. Now, I think for round 3, I'm actually going to switch up and go to the defensive side of the ball for us. I'm going to be actually going for Darius Rush, cornerback, South Carolina. I know we talked about him a little bit earlier on, but kind of similar to what you were just talking about with Gus Bradley. This guy is made for that zone defense. He can thrive in that zone defense. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's big, strong, fast. He can jump routes, make the day a nightmare for the offense. He's not afraid to tackle, get an open field tackle, and he brings that tenacity that we need as well. So I'll be completely content with getting the zone defense, a guy like him in that third round.
Yeah, I like Darius Rush. I feel like he was overshadowed by Cam Smith a lot at South Carolina. But you guys know I just traded the third round pick to move up one spot for the Cardinals. So my third round pick for my mock draft is to the Cardinals. So let's head to round 4. 108th overall pick. I got the Colts selecting Zach Pickens out of South Carolina, defensive tackle. You think of our defensive line depth, on the Colts. You think it's strong. I don't, personally. And I think you take Zach Pickens here if he's still there. Massive disruptor in the pass game. Could eventually turn into a starter for us, but, going to work into that rotation for now. Passes the eye test for Ballard, 6'4", 305 pounds, and I think he's going to contribute to our needed depth in that interior defensive line.
I like that a lot, actually. I was highly considering not him specifically, but that defensive tackle spot when it came to the 4th round. But then I just started thinking, I can't shy away from the offense too much. I have to always make it back over there. So my round 4 pick, I was really looking at Tyler Scott, wide receiver from Cincinnati. A guy who's worked with Alec Pierce. He was there for 2 years. So he is that wide receiver 3. He has that track speed. He can be a monster on the jet sweeps and just quick plays across the middle of the field. That's what we want. When I think of someone like him, I kind of, it reminds me of kind of the Josh Downs when we were talking about that, where he's quick. And even though I think he's 5'10", he can still get a chance to get across the field and catch any ball that comes his way. We kind of gives an opportunity to take some pressure off of Alec Pierce and take some pressure off of Michael Pittman Jr. So I really think that someone like him could come in and make a huge impact for us because that adds just another weapon that we need.
Oh yeah, we do. We do need some wide receivers. We really do. And I wouldn't hate if we took one in the second round. I think that second round pick is going to be so vital to what Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, what they kind of want to do to go forward to retool or even rebuild this whole franchise. So we'll see. Round 5, we're at round 5. So 138th overall pick. I got the Indianapolis Colts selecting Andrew Voorhees, USC Trojans. He's a big guy too, 6'6", 320 pounds. I believe that's a good size for a guard. The thing that, so I don't know if everyone knows, he did get injured at the combine. He tore his ACL. But what's crazy is, so the next day, the man came out there in crutches, out there on one leg, and pumped 38 reps of 225 pounds on bench press. I don't know. That's crazy to me. You can tell the player actually wants it at that point. I think that's a testament to his determination. But he's got that positional versatility. I really like that. He can play basically every position on the line with the exception center. He's an exceptional run blocker. Sure, he might not play his rookie season, but this guy was, I mean, I don't know if he was first round, but at least second round talent before the injury. So you get a guy like this in the 4th or 5th round, give him a little time to recover. Once he does, you get a competent guard to fill that void on the offensive line. I don't know, to me, because other players are going to be looking for developmental players here, but this guy's going to make immediate impact once he comes back from injury. So I'm taking Andrew Voorhees in the 5th round.
I like that pick a lot. I've been kind of high on Andrew Voorhees in my mind because I do think, like you said, it doesn't seem rare, but it's pretty rare to find a suitable guy who can play across the entire offensive line. We watched that this entire year with trying to get players to play in different positions. Didn't work out so well. So it's a huge adjustment, and to have someone like himself come out there and can do it game by the game as needed is a luxury to have. It definitely sucks he had the injury, but I would not be mad at taking him in the 5th round. Now for my 5th round, I'm going to jump to the other side of the ball. This is a guy who I've been kind of looking up and reading about and am enjoying watching his play. Of course, we know that we did pick up Samson Ibukam, and Gus Bradley kind of officially said that, not kind of officially, he definitely said that Yannick is going to be gone in the future or at the now for us. So the 5th round for me, not retaining him. Isaiah McGuire, edge from Missouri. I like him a lot because he's a great fit for that LEO position that Gus runs. Watching film on this guy, I mean, a wide 9, very wide 9. And that's what makes that position so important. He basically what he did week in and week out, and it's funny because I watched some film of him against the Georgia game, some film against him with him in the South Carolina game. Same thing he did each time was, although he did create a bigger lane by opening up that B gap, a bigger running lane for the offense, he made the tackle make a decision every single time, and the tackle had to commit. You're either going to step inside or you're going to step outside. And when you have to make that commitment as the offensive tackle, it makes your life a living nightmare because when you don't know what's going on behind you and you have to set your feet, and then this guy comes and just steps to the left or steps to the right, you're like, oh shit, I got to figure out what's going on. So he did a great job of doing that. Yeah, he may give up that B gap sometimes, but he's able to correct it or even bounce outside, to get around the backside of the tackle once he has him committed. So I really like his play, and I think it would be a great addition, especially already playing in that extra wide 9 set in a Gus Bradley defense.
Ooh, I really like that pick. Okay, I like it. Look, I gave up the 162nd overall pick in the trade to the Cardinals. Who did you have there?
So this one I had Corey Trice Jr., cornerback from Purdue. We have to get some cornerback depth. We definitely know that injuries have been a huge issue for the Colts for year in and year out. Haven't picked up a Rocky Center or anybody like that. So I think at this point you have to kind of look at getting some depth in the draft. And I think Corey Trice Jr. Would be a great guy. He one thing about him, he does give up some room to the wide receiver, but he can make up for that room when the ball's thrown. He definitely pays attention, and he's not afraid to make the open field tackle. Very aggressive, and he moves with his full body. He's not just throwing himself out there. He's gonna see his target and keep his eye on the receiver the entire time until that ball is thrown, and then turn around and make his adjustments. So he kind of doesn't get lost in the play, which I think is real important, especially when you have these speedy receivers these days where, they can do a little pump fake. You turn your head and you look at the quarterback and they're gone downfield. So I think he can possess what we need to build some depth and also just play a safe, tight role for us.
Okay. I like it. So to round out round 5, we got one more pick coming. Of course, I gave mine to the Cardinals. Got to secure our guy at the top of the first round. But with the 176th overall pick, I took Parker Washington, wide receiver out of Penn State. Haven't said a wide receiver yet, but I'm looking for those. Look, we're at value ballot rounds. We're finding value here. It's time to add some competition to the wide receiver room. We got Parker Washington, good punt return specialist, so hopefully he carves out a role on the special teams for us, but he has that potential to grow as a potential slot receiver. He's a bigger slot receiver Just, untraditional height, weight, size at that role. But I don't know. I think he plays tough, and I think he has potential to grow there.
Yeah, my guy's a wide receiver as well, and kind of the same exact role you were just mentioning. I got Charlie Jones, wide receiver from Purdue. While he was at Purdue, he did great his last year, 110 catches, 1361 for the yards, and 12 touchdowns. So pretty solid. But he was even better special teams player, in my opinion. He had great job on kickoffs and punt returns. He even scored a touchdown on one of his kickoffs. So I think that he has the ability to kind of, as you mentioned, transition into a decent slot player for us, but definitely could play a huge role in that special team spot for a great value. So I wouldn't mind not passing him up.
Oh yeah. No 6th-round picks. So I better get some popcorn for that portion. No, no picks in the 6th round on day 3. So we're moving into round 7, and we got 2 picks left. So 221st overall pick. I got the Indianapolis Colts selecting Mohamed Diabate, linebacker out of Utah. So again, value value. Look, we're getting an athletic linebacker here. Hopefully helps out with the depth. Loss of Bobby Okereke, I think, is going to hurt us more than we know. But, linebackers, they're a little easier to replace than most positions. But I don't know. Okereke's run defense will be missed. And I'm hoping Dive can help out on that side. I don't think he starts, but linebacker depth, we always need it just for the security, because you know how Shaquille Leonard be.
Yep. He said during this media day that still not all the way ready. So you're right. We're going to need that linebacker depth. So I kind of went the same route as well. I looked at Shaka Hayward from Duke, linebacker. I know that he hadn't had the greatest career at the linebacker spot in Duke. He had some inconsistencies across the board. However, what I do like about him and what I do like about the Colts is, as you mentioned, the linebacker position. That's one where you can learn it pretty well. And I've noticed that the Colts do a great job of developing linebackers. So, we see year after year, there's a little bit of shine in the linebacker spot. Now I don't know whether that comes with coaching or it comes with injuries or it comes with, the leadership in the room, but I definitely think it's something where someone like someone like himself could get out there and make a difference for us. And it's going to start on the special teams. I think he'll have the ability to be a great special teams player for us as well across the board.
All right. And the 236th overall pick, I got the Indianapolis Colts selecting Jarrett Patterson, center out of Notre Dame. So he was a team captain there. So, he played center. He also played guard. Again, versatility. I like that. So he can play both positions. It's kind of a short arm guy, but it looks like technique made him so successful there. He played really well at Notre Dame, but he doesn't have that arm length that you would traditionally look for. But let's add some more offensive line depth here. Let's add a potential center. Also can fill in that guard,
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm always about offensive line depth. But for my last one, I'm going to take it to the other side of the ball. We're going to be looking at picking up Corey Durden, defensive tackle from North Carolina State. I really want a little bit more depth at the defensive tackle spot. I feel like every year we always draft at least 2 defensive tackles. And usually something pans out for us to where someone doesn't play, they get hurt early on. So I know the inconsistencies across the board there have been an issue. And when I look at him, he did have a shoulder injury in 2020. So I that's always not promising for us, because again, it just goes back to what we just said about how these things happen to our defensive tackles. But if someone who has the ability to still come in at that, come in and make a difference for us with just a couple plays. We have that rotation coming in with D-Buck and Grover Stewart. So why not go ahead and add another piece of the puzzle that we need inside of there? I think at the nose tackle spot, he can definitely benefit us at least for a couple plays, but I'm not looking for anything too big from him.
Gotcha. Hey, I like it. I didn't hate your mock draft at all. Of course, mine is better, but I didn't hate it. Oh, yeah, that's our 7-round mock draft, guys. Look, it's going to be a fun draft night. It's going to be a crazy draft night, especially that first day. Don't know what's going to happen. I do know one thing. We do need to take a quarterback. I think we're in consensus for the Colts Cast about that. We got to take a quarterback in the first round. And then, what we do from there, it's going to be exciting. I'm always big on these day 2, day 3 picks because usually they're the ones that actually pan out to do something for us. Rodney Thomas, probably our best draft pick last year, to be honest. And he was out of Yale in the 7th round. Like who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? So look, every pick's gonna matter. I got us trading up to the Cardinals. I want us to get that. I want us to secure our guy. I really do now at this point because I think he just has that edge over Will Levis that we can't just pass up. So give up a few picks, make everyone happy. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, especially once we picked up the extra 5th from Dallas for getting rid of Gilmore and all that. I mean, yeah, again, I'm completely fine with bumping up to that 3rd and losing out on the 5th and maybe one more just to make life better and to get a guarantee. I would never be opposed to that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, guys. But remember, live stream coming up Thursday night. We're probably going to start, probably about 10 or 15 minutes before the draft, but we'll got you some more information coming this week. Look, that's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all, take care.
Take care.